Warning. This video contains explicit words used by Bethany Robinson. She is uncontrollable, and I will not attempt to control her. If you have kids near, you should save this video for later. Tell them Santa told them so, and that he is always watching. Take it away, Mr. Hiller.
I would like to start off with this clip right here.
There's also another controversial thing that I'm going to address halfway through when it's relevant.
Believe it or not, Sporty Beth calls out Matt Fraser.
Oh my God.
And she's got some other controversial stuff. She's basically a walking pot of controversy, that Sporty Beth over in England. Now, Bethany has uploaded her 30-minute debrief on her most recent High Rocks race. And if you're keeping up, you'll know that she did one of those things way back in 2022 using the CrossFit method. And in 2025, she did it using her new High Rocks training method. I'll save you a little bit of time. She doesn't compare and contrast the two.
You've got to be kidding me.
30 minutes of basically nothing. Nothing! I shouldn't say nothing because we're going to chat about a little bit of this. But she considers herself a hybrid athlete.
That's ridiculous.
And all I can think about when I hear hybrid athlete is what this dude had to say.
What the fuck is a hybrid athlete? Every single one of these cunts that I see that calls himself a hybrid athlete literally just lifts weights and runs.
The hybrid athlete thing has been incredibly confusing to me because I thought that just about all CrossFitters were hybrid athletes. But maybe you don't train long enough, you don't run far enough. I found this post on Reddit from Peter Attia. Smart dude, seems to know what he's talking about. People like him because he uses a whole bunch of medical research. A hybrid athlete is essentially someone who can run a marathon, has the physique of a bodybuilder, and has the strength of a powerlifter. And then it's like, a CrossFitter? Again, a freaking CrossFitter? Are hybrid athletes people who do CrossFit but maybe don't snatch and do kipping pull-ups? And I use that thing from Reddit because nowhere else seemed to have a better description of what it means to be a hybrid athlete. Someone who trains and competes in multiple sports or athletic disciplines. It's like, okay, so basically the 3-sport athlete in high school, are they a hybrid athlete? You play football, you do baseball, and maybe you do wrestling in the winter, basketball in the winter. But no, it's basically like that dude with the freaking leather ceiling car truck thing. I think he's in Australia. Sounds like he's in Australia. You lift weights and you run. And I don't know why Sporty Beth tries so hard to differentiate herself from us. Us, the CrossFitters.
And before I get started on the story, the CrossFitters are still mad at me for having left CrossFit to do High Rocks.
0 people are mad at you for leaving CrossFit. Oh wait, anybody? Is anybody mad? You know what people might be mad about? Perhaps saying that there's something better out there. I know that everybody's got their different goals, but it's gonna get really weird for Bethany when we compare her to High Rocks times.
And also talking about how CrossFit wasn't building that aerobic base that I was aiming for to make me fit for my life, which is my goal.
Your goal is to be fit for life. And you never say why CrossFit doesn't do that for you, but you just say that it doesn't.
In my last video, I was told off for saying that I love CrossFit when I clearly don't love CrossFit because I dare to say any negative thing about it. I love CrossFit in the same way that I love swimming. Swimming is not an all-round fitness methodology that encompasses everything, and it never has claimed to be.
What? Wouldn't the difference be that CrossFit includes swimming? Can include swimming? Did she forget about that part?
CrossFit has claimed to be this all-round fitness methodology that encompasses everything and gets you fit for everything.
Yeah, it does. It's supposed to. It's what it's for.
And it's just not that.
That's ridiculous.
And that is my only real criticism of it. But yeah, I still do love CrossFit, and now I finish High Rocks, I probably will go back and do a couple of CrossFit classes.
You can't have that criticism without giving reasons why it doesn't do what it wants you to do.
CrossFitters can act like it's a religion and that if you do anything outside of CrossFit, then you're a terrible person and you should just be doing CrossFit.
Has she never regularly learn and play new sports, dude? My God.
What's your training like, boss?
How much time you want me to rant about this? I feel like people are largely way too neurotic about a lot of things these days. You know, I should be this, I should be that. I don't train enough. I've certainly fallen into that mindset in the past. This last year, dude, training has been all over the place. So I'm talking, maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's 3 times a week. Maybe I go on a jag and I do jujitsu every day. I don't know. It's been very all over the place, and kind of don't care because I am a lifer. Like I'm 20 years deep at this point. It's like I know I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. There's going to be periods where I'm all in, and it's like a lot of training volume, and like that's what I'm feeling at the time. And there's going to be times where it's like, you know what? Yeah, it gets a little bit looser than that, and that's fine.
This is why people freaking hate you when it comes to the CrossFit takes. Because somehow you seem to have forgotten no sugar, which is in fitness in 100 words, and you also forgot regularly learn and play new sports, which High Rocks could be considered. Well, you also forgot the part where it says to only eat so that it suffices the energy expenditure, not to eat in surplus. Andrew, how do you know that she eats in surplus?
You've got to be kidding me.
Train for what you want to do. and I wanted to do a high rocks, and I've bloody done a high rocks.
And like I said earlier, isn't it going to be great when she compares her time with the CrossFit training method to the high rocks training method? It's going to be great.
I had done a high rocks in 2022. I've got my little badge up there, and I absolutely loved it, but I was terrible at running because I was a CrossFitter, and I didn't train for it outside of CrossFit. I didn't do any running training because I was an idiot.
Hunter McIntyre was recently on a podcast talking about all of the data that you can collect from high rocks. So I did that. She says she was a terrible runner, and she said that because CrossFit doesn't have very much running.
I was terrible at running because I was a CrossFitter.
For the past couple of months, it seems that Sporty Beth has only been talking about her increasing ability to run all of the running she has been doing. So you would figure with these two claims that she would have better run splits. On the left, you're going to see her times from 2022. On the right, you're going to see her times from 2025. Actually, I want to turn this into a chart. So here's my chart. On the left are each of her 1,000 meter run times. On the right are each of her 1,000 meter run times from 2025. In the middle, every single column you will see is in red. This is what everybody wanted from your YouTube video, Bethany. You can without a doubt see that you are a worse runner in the year 2025 than you were in the year 2022. Now, I already know where you're going to go with this because I've been to the comment section on this video. Fellow Jordan says, one day the video title will say 185 months postpartum because being postpartum seems to be the only important thing on your channel. Sporty Beth goes down the obviously you're a man route. Now, I am obviously also a man.
Wow.
I am obviously a man who, when I owned the CrossFit affiliate, had over a dozen women have children, come back, and be fitter, better, using a CrossFit training method. Every single one of them. And if you don't want to take my word for those, just go look at how Tia Toomey did it Rogue. She took second. How many months postpartum was she? Something similar to what Bethany's got going on here. And we all know that Tia used CrossFit to get ready for the Rogue Invitational that year. So there's the definitive proof. You're worse. And you would have been better had you have just kept on doing CrossFit.
I definitely could finish the pro. So I thought,
Oh, well.
and I just entered. And then regret started to set in, and I'm like, have I done the wrong thing? Was it a terrible idea to have entered the pro category? Is everybody going to laugh at me? Am I going to be the only slow runner in the pro category?
And at the beginning of the video, she mentioned controversy, and it's not the stuff that we were talking about right there. It was this.
And this is one of the first major controversial bits, and I'm going to talk about it because I am very proudly a difficult woman, and we don't stand by when things are happening. The men's doubles come out and start actually bowling people over. I think a lot of the time it was just these blokes wanting to run next to each other in their little pair, or that they just had a massive ego and thought it was okay to push women out the way.
Bethany entered the pro category. Oddly enough, she said that she had done so because she wanted to compare from previous times, which she doesn't do at all. And I think we all just found out why she doesn't do that. I'm sure she would be comparing every single stat that she could if she had beaten her time from 2022. Ha! Just thought of that, obviously. But remember, she's in the pro category. Anybody can sign up for anything. It's just basically a weight difference. The sleds are heavier, all that crap. But then the controversy, as she says it.
Now, I can handle it. I'm a bigger woman and I fucking push back. Quite a few of them. And I shouted at them and I was not okay with it.
So Bethany starts to make it really clear that she just kind of hates men. Every chance she gets, she starts talking down upon men. She thinks that men are just out to get her. I did tell you to remember that she entered the pro category, and you know that the high rocks races kind of send you off in waves. I'm not sure we ever really went down what her exact times were. I know we went over her running splits. So in 2022, Sporty Beth finished with a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 27 seconds. Fast forward 3 years, no CrossFit training, all high rocks training. She gets a time of 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 12 seconds. 21 seconds, freaking dyslexia. She's about a half hour slower. She's in the pro division, and now she's getting mad at everybody for running over her. And she's not getting mad at everybody. She's getting mad at specifically the men. She doesn't stop there.
And again, people will say, oh, your time is really slow, so like you deserve it. I've got a few comments like that, basically insinuating that because I'm slow, I should have not been in their way.
The other day I was backing out of a parking spot. Alexis and I were in Florida. Small parking lot, and someone just tries to rip behind me. They tried to beat me out of the parking spot because they didn't want to wait for me to back out and do all the crap, right? You got two options there. You get all frustrated and mad and say, how could they do that? Don't they see me backing out of this parking spot?
Now, I can handle it. I'm a bigger woman and I fucking push back.
Or I turn to Alexis and I go, That person probably didn't have any idea what was going on. Maybe they're just not the smartest. Maybe they're just doing their own thing. Maybe they had a tea time they had to make because we were on some golf course. They didn't even see me backing out of that parking spot. So I do believe that you can always change the way that you look at things. And I think that Bethany is choosing violence. And in a way, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're in the pro division. High Rocks organizers probably see you as somebody who could finish in, I don't know, maybe 2 hours like you did in 2022, but now you're taking an additional half hour and the race needs to go on. There will be people who are catching up, people who paid money the same way that you did. And if there were 100 sporty Beths out there,
Oh my God.
all signing up for the pro division because you can,
That's ridiculous.
all taking their sweet freaking time just sitting in the way, are you supposed to just say, hey, wait for us or ask us nicely to get out of the way when they paid to run a race? They're trying to go as fast as possible. We're supposed to move around you because this thing works both ways, Bethany.
There's never any reason to justify pushing people out of the way. It's not cool.
I'm not going to talk at length about why it's okay to push people out of the way, but you have to also think about the other side. You are in the way. You took 2.5 hours to run the race in the pro division. And like the dude in the parking lot, they probably have no idea what's going on.
And I shouted at them.
They didn't expect to have to run around you.
And I fucking pushed back. And again, I've had a few people like, don't complain about if you don't have a solution. I have a solution. The solution is penalties if you see anybody doing this, if judges see anybody doing this. And after one penalty of 5 minutes or something that will hurt them enough to stop trying to risk pushing somebody out of the way just to gain a second for a PB, DQ them.
I'm going to propose something as well.
What do you say we interview you?
Time caps on High Rocks races. A 2-hour time cap on a High Rocks race. You want to finish? You have to earn the right to finish. How do you earn the right to finish? Number 1, probably sign up for the right division. Number 2, be fit enough to get through all of the freaking things in 2 hours or less.
Obviously.
You want to compare? You'll still have a finishing score if you only get through 7 out of the 8 1K runs. You missed the wall balls at the end. Well, you probably weren't going to squat to depth anyway when you got there. If you get there. Because again, imagine there are 1,000 sporty Beths out on the High Rocks course.
Please, no!
Those lanes get kinda tight kinda quick. Are you supposed to be just dishing out penalties to everybody because they're trying to navigate the sea of sporty Beths?
I'm a bigger woman and I fucking push back.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm trying to run a race here. I know I just started. I'm fresh. I'm trying to go. Everyone's in the way. She hasn't even considered this. Oh yeah, it's because it's Bethany's world. Everyone else is just living in it. And now at the beginning of the video, I did talk about how it is indeed sporty Beth's world. And she's coming at the heads of all the CrossFitters.
Have you noticed there are very few CrossFitters doing solo High Roxes?
Her new identity is the former CrossFitter turned High Roxer. I don't really understand, but she's even coming after Matt Fraser these days.
The reason many CrossFitters are opting for doubles races and not for solo races is probably firstly just to test the water and see if they enjoy it without all the pressure. Because let's face it, if Tia Toomey entered a solo pro race, everybody would be expecting her to win.
I don't think so. They would probably be watching to see how a CrossFitter would do in a solo race, but I don't think many people would be expecting her to win because they're different. Now, you've heard me say it about 3 or 4 times now, but Matt Fraser is currently joining up with Matt O'Keefe to run a High Rocks race. And yeah, he is doing it in the pro doubles or the doubles, whatever doubles. I personally would love for Matt Fraser to come on out and whoop up on Hunter McIntyre, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that it's cool that Matt Fraser is going to go and do a High Rocks. I know that Matt O'Keefe is no slouch of a runner, but he's also no James Newberry. So I don't see their time being anything close to the Tia and Newberry combo, but it still is cool, and Sporty Beth still is talking mad crap about it. She goes on to talk about how all the energy pathways are different. It's like, what do you know about an energy pathway, Bethany? You got one tool in the toolbox, and that tool you just sit there and you talk into all day.
So the fact of the matter is, CrossFit training does not suit High Rocks. You have to train specifically for a High Rocks to be good at High Rocks.
Each of your 1,000 meter runs over the course of the 8 that you ran at your 2 separate High Rocks races were slower. You were fitter in 2022. You were a better High Rocks runner in 2022. You can see it via the numbers. Something that you very interestingly and very conveniently left out of your most recent video, Bethany. You cannot continue to throw all of this crap at CrossFit. You can't do it until you prove that your claims are true. And I don't want to hear any of that postpartum stuff. Your easy out to that is to call me a misogynist, to say that I couldn't understand.
How dare you?
To say this is a man hating on a woman.
You think?
The hard thing for you to do, Bethany, would be to prove me wrong. The hard thing for you to do is going to be to take off another half hour of your High Rocks time to beat the time that you had gotten in 2022. I think that you and I very much know that that ain't happening. And I want to end this video on a high note. Here's some crackhead weightlifter who's not squatting below parallel.
Don't bring your legs. That's better. That's better. That's better. Come on.
Don't be the that's better guy. Andrew Hiller, out.